Since his release from immigration detention almost 2 years ago, Othman, Hamdan has been living in limbo. The Canada Border Services Agency has been trying to deport him, calling him a risk to Canadians. He says he has been trying to clear his name and get on with his life. Load error. I'm trying to go forward. I'm trying to be the model citizen, Hamdan told, and still, the Canadian government has the audacity to say I'm dangerous. Hamdan, a Jordanian citizen, arrived in Canada in 2002 seeking a better life, and settled in Fort St. John, BC. But the politically minded, outspoken man caught the attention of the RCMP in 2014 in the wake of the Parliament Hill shootings. As part of Project Scallop, which investigated online extremism in Canada after that attack, RCMP approached Hamdan about Facebook posts he had made that seemed to support ISIS. Hamdan said he was told the topics he was posting about were very sensitive and could be offensive to some. But, he says, they did not tell him to stop. 8 months later, Hamdan was arrested and charged with 4 terrorism-related offenses. In all, RCMP had tracked thousands of posts made by Hamdan, some that he had written, others that he had shared, and flagged 85 of them for celebrating ISIS's success, praising lone wolf attacks and the Parliament Hill shooter, as well as identifying places in Canada with weak security. He was denied bail and spent 2 years in jail awaiting trial. While a BC Supreme Court judge called the posts repugnant, offensive, and troubling, he ultimately ruled that without knowing more around the context of the posts, Hamdan did not have intent to commit a crime. Yet he wasn't released. Instead, immigration officials arrested Hamdan on the grounds that he posed a danger to the security of Canada because of the views he expressed online. His refugee status was revoked and he was deemed inadmissible to Canada. Hamdan was moved to immigration detention, where he was held another 2 years, sometimes in solitary confinement, as the CBSA took steps to deport him. University of Toronto law professor Kent Roach suggests Hamdan's case was a miscarriage of justice. When the government failed to get a conviction, he noted, it seemed it decided to go after Hamdan in immigration court, where the burden of proof is lower. You know, it's kind of a, heads I win, tails you lose. The RCMP, CBSA and Public Safety Canada all denied CBC's request for interviews or specific information on Hamdan's case or risk assessment. They noted there are 993 foreign nationals in the country who are not currently in detention, but are inadmissible to Canada for safety and security reasons. In Hamdan's case, the CBSA wants to deport him back to his native Jordan, where Hamdan says he would be killed. Officials have also said they found ISIS insignia graffiti on his cell wall while he was being held in detention. Hamdan says it was merely an Islamic emblem. For the first year of my partial freedom, the RCMP would knock on my window at 2 or 3 in the morning, approximately every night, said Hamdan. They would just wake me out of bed, just to come and show my face, jolt me back. CBC also spoke with residents of Christina Lake, BC, where Hamdan currently lives, who expressed concerns about him being in their community. None wished to speak on the record but said they were afraid of him and felt Canadian laws had failed. They also spoke of how Hamdan had never expressed remorse or any harm that may have been incited by his social media posts. There's nothing to apologize about, said Hamdan. What have I done that requires remorse? That I talked about the conflict in the Middle East, really, and expressed that all sides commit crimes? Including ISIS? Including Al-Qaeda? Including the Canadian government? Navaid Aziz, an expert on religious extremism who served as a witness for the defense, said even though he found Hamdan's posts deeply uncomfortable, Hamdan is not an extremist. He ended up finding purpose in his activism online. And had he channeled it properly and perhaps been more cautious in terms of what he was posting, his situation might be different, said Aziz, who occasionally provides guidance to Hamdan. As long as he's part of a holistic system that's providing him support, a psychological and mental health perspective, and spiritual guidance, I believe he's on a good track to be in a better place. Hamdan's lawyer maintained that because of the criminal charges he faced in this country, his life would be at risk in Jordan. 3 months ago, a judge suspended Hamdan's deportation order, noting in his judgment that he has no record of Hamdan committing any offenses in the past 6 years. So with his criminal case resolved and his deportation suspended for now, Hamdan says he wants to clear his name and see his status in Canada resolved. He has filed 2 civil lawsuits against the CBSA and Ministry of Public Safety for malicious prosecution and for his time in solitary confinement. They don't want to give me status. They wish I would disappear, said Hamdan. We don't know where this is going to go. Roach agrees that Hamdan's status remains ambiguous. It's the same status as the men that were detained under security certificates. It's the status of being under a cloud, said Roach. For people like Mr. Hamdan, I think it's going to be a constant struggle. For now, Hamdan has been granted a temporary work permit, limited access to the internet and a driver's license. He is also looking for work in the community.